see what we get from Toronto as we go through this qualifier, but for now, let's see if they can handle their business on this Boston Breach team. Let's get it on. We got Den Hardpoint to kick us off.
Yeah, if you're Koi, you want to take care of business on the hard points, but I think what they did in the vetoes in this series is ideal for them to just improve as a roster, because S&D is the only thing truly holding this team back. So playing the new maps, getting ahead of the game. You saw them yesterday on Plaza. They dominated that one. So the Fringe and map number 2, it's a classic. They should be prepared for that one as well.
Yeah, the storylines are definitely, you know, we know what our top teams are looking like. You know, it's obviously you talk about Optic, but looking at what a Paris would do versus what a Faze would do through Major 1 to Major 2, the real question mark is what kind of was last year. It's like, who is going to be that top 4, top 5 team to be another contender for Sunday? Toronto has put themselves immediately in the conversation, and it's been a flawless start here through P1, 28-0, and the rotation on lock towards P2. Boston under some pressure, trying to find a break.
Down in the feed, Koi are pushing out over towards Rooftop, and Boston Breach gonna have 10 to 15 seconds before they can even get close towards this P2.
Yeah, really nice little bump out here from Kips. Eventually gets taken down, but that's so much space given to the defenders inside the hard point themselves. Spart even a little bit antsy about moving his way across the roofs. Nasty in the cut, though, able to find one, can't get in second, and now it's just on to Afro to finish things off, and this is what Afro brings to the table. Staying presence inside the hard point. He gets 2, and the break is good for Boston.
Yeah, that's a big moment there for Boston to give themselves some momentum. A good chunk of time as well, with 30 seconds still remaining here at the P2, because now Koi are going to just cut their losses and think about that setup at the new HP. Gonna slay your way out as much as you possibly can, but Boston with a great response, keeping themselves in the mix.
Yeah, looking solid, at least on rotation. Will be Toronto, though, to make up for that back 30. Boston give themselves a fighting chance to stay cut. Kips once again, though, creating some space in front of the hard point. He and JoeDeceives will find 3, and Purj really can't even hit the mid cut. He's got to try to play around the backside of Dojo.
Yeah, now he's waiting for the next team push, and it's going to be Boston again going through Cabo, but this time they take care of Kips. Koi are trying to hold down the rest of this while being outnumbered, and they lose all the gunfights, so Koi get broken. Let's see how they break back in with a listening.
Outer 10. Or outer
One shot be kind. One shot be kind.
Yeah.
Got naded.
One full, one out. They're back for it.
I'm gonna show.
I'm coming.
One steep. Deep left. One's out, close. Nice.
I didn't ever give me sex.
1080 nasty.
Shoulder in mid.
1080.
Right side, dead.
Yo, there's two on me.
One shot.
I'm going through front now. I'm going through front now.
I don't know. Dead enemy.
I'm going through front now.
Turn around.
Okay, only 2 here. Only 2 here.
For Spart as well.
Yeah, two.
Let's see it.
Go back patio, not me, Purj. Purj back patio door now. Nice shit. All front.
Front.
I had low red. Pretty close, bro.
You what's close?
On lane 3. I need up. Just hold my
On the window.
Fetch.
I'm about to wrap.
Go on.
Okay, Archer.
Outer again.
One more outer. I'm playing live.
I'm child out. Both here, Jimmy.
Smart. Ammo, nice.
Last four guys. Just keep looking. I got time. Yep, I got it.
I'm about to shot mid.
Yeah, they should spawn.
Yo, lights up one more. One at P2.
I'm about to
There's 2 P2. One light. Double lights.
Give me closer. I'm playing here close. Lights on one shot, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to try.
Hey, one back patio.
Low.
Back patio. I just did some fraud shit. Out of P2, my bad. Out of P2, he might go tools.
I'm looking front.
Back tools, guys. On the steps.
Back tools.
Nice, bro.
That's a good
I
shot.
think that's pitching.
We're gonna be cut. There could be lobby.
Take your time.
Right way.
Oh, lights, bro. Lights Afro.
Oh, you, bro.
Dojo.
Dojo.
They're gonna chop me up, boys. Yeah,
3 off HP.
Nothing else, Dojo, okay?
Yo, Afro me left, probably double me left.
Yo, on P1, their side.
Yo,
A little bit of fun being had by Toronto. A couple of rogue plays that they're realizing quickly may have not been the best overall options, but hey, in that little bit of giggle, you got Boston only down about 30 points, and they're doing a nice job over the middle of the map to get some time here on P1.
Yeah, and it's not been off the rotation. It's been about the breaks for Boston Breach. And right there at the P4, it's Kips with that route that gives them the opportunity. One player from Boston spawns behind Dragon, and that sets up a break for about 20 seconds. So even though Koi are giggling in their comms, Boston is still in this fight. 25 seconds remaining at the P1. You're winning the gunfights all around the map. That's 3 for none besides a team kill. So Boston get the break, and they flip the spawns.
Yeah, and Joe's a little bit stuck right now. Head on a swivel. Oh, I'm sure he's thinking he had Afro dead to rights, but doesn't win that gunfight outright. So now it's down to Insight to hold his life. Kips on the other side of the map playing on roofs, looking for an early influence towards the front of the second hardpoint lead back.
Yeah, the first chance that Boston have finally secured themselves a rotation, and they also found gunfights right after that to hold it down for the first attempt. But you can already see Toronto on their attempt now through couches finding Inisu 2. Joe falls off the map, but you still have the numbers to try to contest this. It's only going to be on Insight, though. And we saw his clash yesterday. He was running everything for recoil stabilization. Insight needs to be more active.
Hear that? And that was timing that kind of has him on a self-inflicted staggered spawn, and Boston are going to reap the reward of that. Another 3-man feed. Joe able to avoid being traded out through mid-map will at least keep Toronto in the mix on rotation, but this has been significant time for Boston. A pretty much flawless hold here through 2, and now you've got pressure across the map. And Joe loses one outright to Afro, but Kips is there for his trade, and the hit for Boston has to make his way through the mid cut, and we'll take a look.
Close.
I'm trying to save.
Shot quick if we can.
Close lane down, outer. Kips people. Outer bricks.
I'll blue. Joey, like our bricks.
One shot on time. There's one B cut.
I'm leaning over.
Pushing our close left.
Yeah.
Close left. He's on outer brick, Joe. Weak. Okay.
Can we close blue now?
This is main. Kiss me. Kips main dead.
Nice, I'm watching
Outer brick. I'm only back.
Missing Jamie.
Dead.
You all have fun, you then go mid.
Yeah, I'm good. How about
I'm sitting mid. They're going in there. I'm out of turn.
They're all going for new.
Weak as fuck. You trying running into me. There's two. Take your time.
Two guys back.
Back door on the pillar.
He's a bully.
One shot, Joe.
You going down the window?
One shot, fuck Nick. Absolute inner. Tips, you jumped out the window. You jumped out the window. He's close,
Close left.
Nice, big kill.
Yeah, nice moment here for Boston overall. Toronto will get some of the scrap time, though. That could lead towards, again, just kind of regrowing the deficit that was already in play throughout the majority of this map. And this last hit for Boston is falling apart. All 4 will fall. And this back 20 is looking really good for Koi.
Yeah, it was a nice moment for Boston at the ending of that P2 to the P3, keeping it scrappy, but in the final 15 seconds, exactly what Koi did to you on the P4, you did it to them, but then on their first attempt through the front door, they outgunned you to shreds, and now walk away with at least 45 seconds here at the P4 and give themselves a comfortable lead going back over towards the P1. Just situations where Boston, when they beat them to the punch, when they are in the driver's seat, where ego challenging in certain situations and losing those key one-on-one gunfights, that's what's giving
all of it working out nicely as Joe got to 6 in a row before falling. He's now at 30 and 18, which is a stark comparison to the 10 and 19 from Insight. Again, the SMGs have found a huge boost with the NPC out, but this has been a little bit different for JoeDeceives. Kips over the top, kind of showing flexibility between both weapons. Trades are abound. Pinstripe kill feed leaves the hard point neutral until Insight able to get himself onto 3 in a row and hold his gun up. They're on the backside of this P1 time.
Yeah, just needs to continue to fight because Boston are flooding every single play to not allow Koi to get any time off of this P1. And I got players like Purj working on this route through back broken. It's going to allow his team to soak up this junk time and now try to contest for these spawns because one player from Koi is going to be all the way across the map.
Will drop, and yep, so say once he spawns, they're going to realize, whoa, we're in some trouble here. So now Toronto have a little 2-2 split. 2 from the back, 2 from couches. Can they find the gunfights, though? Maybe easier said than done, although CleanX and Insight counteract that point by finding the opening very cleanly. Now Kips back to the hard point. He's going to clear some space. And Boston don't find a single kill off of what was a very solid setup inside the hill. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's tough, man, because not finding a kill now allows Koi to know all 4 are dead. We can take more space through the front side, and the back spawns are secured. So they can still close it out here with all this P2 time. You're going to give it one last push if you are Boston through the front, and Spart gives you a double.
Yeah, Insight, though, really starting to heat up now on 5 in a row before being traded up by Purj, who turns that into a second. 12 seconds of scrap time, not insignificant for Toronto, so Joe will hit that off the delayed spawn. Turns the heads of Toronto. Good kills from the front, combining with that effort from the back. So now it's just how can you finish off this last hit? But where are we? We're not inside the hard point. We're just both doubled up inside a 10. Toronto pick it apart. Winning moment potentially capitalized on, and that is indeed the case. Another moment where just like we just saw P2, Boston
have yet to leave the spawn with 30 seconds. So now eventually they're going to rally for the push here. And as long as you keep on throwing shows to the middle of the map, you got the info if your CleanX pushes at B.
Yeah, but look at this. I mean, you've got no more than just the information from CleanX. You've also got Joe that could hit a quick pinch, and Kips finding an elimination through mid. Now has 3 members defending from the front. Afro will drop. Insight able to find one more behind that. And it's just down to Nastie. Nowhere to go. Flawless opening round for Toronto.
Yeah, you just give Toronto too much space to work with, and you don't do anything.
They're able to get at least somewhat inside, but if Boston are still in a pretty forward spot to deal with it until CleanX is able to find first blood.
Yeah, Insight spots that cross. Information is good enough for the first blood. And now Boston looking to make up for it in the numbers. They're reading the play that's going to be over towards train side, but you can see Kips slowly but surely working his way up the middle of the map. Does get caught by Spart, but Insight instantly there for the trade. Now objectives should be going down.
So It's a really, really important trade because now, as we mentioned, Boston in a low number situation are a bit split. Nasty, the last one standing again for the 1v3 potential opportunity. You're happy to have that, and that's what you do. You just kind of keep someone forward, scale them deep. Everyone else defensively can worry about mid and that long rail yard play through B. And this time, Joe, overwhelmed. First blood tally for Boston.
Yeah, that's big plays though out of Boston because all that space that Toronto wanted. If Joe continues to stay alive in towards 10, Boston are going to be trapped in towards the spawn, so they get the first blood. They're effective on the trades. Purj with the route through the map. Now leads inside left.
This next call is a tough one. Great shoulder from Purj, and he's stuck. Nowhere to go. No help nearby either, although Nasty is able to find a trade on a delayed play through the window, through the doorway. Joe, not deterred, trying to push up. Able to get a stun involved on top of the A side, and that keeps Boston at bay, and the inside's able to connect. Follow-up from Kips is great, and now it's the 3v1 for Toronto.
Spartan needs to try to get the jump on him to stand a chance in this round. Puts down shots onto Kips. The bait and switch is trying to go down, but you still have them trapped on the backside of bricks. Not going to risk the gunfight anymore. Let's just get it planted.
Yeah. Oh, Spart able to find one in the meantime, though. We'll get the reset and just barely slip away from insight. Goes back, able to find a couple of shots. Looking for the second contestant, no one nearby. So now Spart makes his way onto the bomb. Has an NPC to play with. There's the first shoulder. Has to peel Joe off a tough angle. Is able to tell the tale as he will retreat back and keep his life.
Oh, and you see what that's trying to do. Open up this lane for Purj to potentially work his way up to the map, but inside from top barn finds the first blood. Now on a man disadvantage, someone has to make a play, and it's Purj behind enemy lines. Gets the jump on Kips, makes it a 3v3. The trade is going to be in for Joe. Koi still have the numbers. Joe finds another.
Yeah, Purj getting the first is great, but over-challenge the second as Boston was trying to make a move feels a little over-ambitious. Nasty just had passed CleanX over towards trains. Not that it may have made much of a difference because the bomb is the big target here that he's got to work for. And the shoulder there will have Nasty down and out and towards the A side of the map. So Toronto are going to make noise at B. And then likely see if they can flip things back over, but this first push to the top side of the barn not going to work out. Inside also drops, and any plans of Toronto trying to finesse the map are now out the window.
Yeah, that's beautiful information gained by Spart. Allows Purj to get the first one, and then he cleans house up for the second. So 4v2 left up to the superstars on Toronto. Joe and Kips. This duo, you can never count them out of any situation, but time is starting to tick.
Yeah, I think Joe's been scouted out by Spart as well, topside barn. Yeah, he was ready for that the whole way. Kips 1v4. Good damage onto the first, able to finish with the pistol, and the second shots were clean, but the health pool just a touch too much to deal with. And Boston get another round on the board for them.
Yeah, great defensive look there. Already gone. And Toronto aren't giving you anything. Like, inside, all he's doing is throwing shoulders from top barn.
Oh,
but
no.
Kips, this time with the sniper, finds that first one onto Nasty. And there's only 45 seconds left. You are still left to leave your base.
That was through this window that Spart's at, I want to say, or somewhere nearby. So it's an impressive shot, I'm sure, by Kips. And now you have a huge issue to deal with if you're Boston. Yeah, and this is why Joe's able to find just a little bit of information. Lots of damage thrown in his direction, but he's got help nearby. But it's Kips who's got the scope again, remember. So he will back away and see if he can get a second chance to just defend this bomb. Nades off the inner walls. Whoa, that's an interesting little wall bounce from Afro, giving himself a chance to fight for the bomb. Is now down. Kips had seen that, but Spart finds the double. Then get just down to CleanX. 10 seconds on the clock. They have to commit. CleanX, aware of that, finds the first.
Ticking down, 45 seconds left on the round. You know the positioning now of Kips. And potentially the play is going to be over towards B, but Joe just takes it into his own hands, finds the first blood. Nasty with the trade.
Yeah, it's a big trade from Nasty. Otherwise, that could have led to an immediate quick plan at A. But Insight's able to catch Spart on the rotation back over. So now CleanX still holding on to the bomb, has to commit. Kips at mid-map. May have just missed timing, though. In some trouble. Little shoulder, just throwing a little bit of wiggle into the mix, and he's looking for help, and he's going to get it inside with the 5-1, but Purj double. As things moving with the bomb has been planted in the meantime, leaving it just down to the 1v1 between Kips and Purj, who's back to full health.
Timing.
And Purj is going to make the first move. Shots are out. Can't finish. Kips able to shoot back, looking for the finish. Oh, both players are low. Both players hoping for the regen, and they'll both get it. Kips is out of there. Purj is trying to chase. Oh, no. He's lost him. 15 seconds. Purj up and over. Shots next. Just once again throwing shoulders, and it's Kips in another position at the window to find first blood.
Man, he's such a great risk taker, and he's found so many first bloods throughout that bit of a map of Brick's window. Boston have to put a little bit more focus on that positioning, but now outnumbered, you need to make a play and make it quick. You're gonna push out towards Trains inside, not able to line up the shots. Purj again making plays on 5 in a row.
Yeah, now you've got CleanX just trying to hold off the position at mid barn. Purj 5 in a row, as mentioned, will not drop. Is able to reset. Bomb gonna swing back over to A. And it would be JoeDeceives to watch this cross, and I don't know if he's seen much, if anything at all. CleanX not aware of Nastie's position. But Joe, like you call, on the re-ramp, able to find the bomb planner. 25 seconds on the clock. Purj inside, just waiting for help. He's able to collect the bomb and push Joe off the angle, but on the other side, Kips was able to isolate, but can't win the gunfight, so now it's just down to Kips to the 1v2.
Realistically, you should try to go for this bomb.
Go for the early plant.
Oh, this is gonna catch him off guard, Al.
Yeah, no signs of a hellstorm, but no need. Nastie's nades over the top, able to find CleanX, no bomb plant, minute on the clock.
That's big nades out of Boston to stop that bomb plant from immediately getting down, because you're thinking Purj is going to use that hellstorm to basically call game here, but the frag slow them down. Spart stays alive on the backside of bomb for the second kill. Now it's a 1v4.
Yeah, Insight will catch one, but he is obviously in a world of trouble, and he will not get through Nastie. What a bounce back.
It's all on Kips. Kips try to single-handedly slow this one down. Even though Nastie finds a kill, it's Kip with the MPC. Lines up a double and gets to stop there for Koi. So now if you are Nastie, a player in a great position, doesn't get anything done with this, so Koi have a little bit of breathing room to work out of their spawn.
Small bit, but we're only down to a minute 50 on the clock. And outside of a small threat towards B for Toronto, there hasn't been many offensive looks. Joe up top, no, can't quite get to the platform, but Kips able to find one, and here we go, 5 in a row, and Kips is able to score, and with that, confirm the hellstorm. So Toronto now all of a sudden, the blink of an eye, everything to work with here in the last 90 seconds.
Hey, realistically, if you're a Kips, you can use this hellstorm to guarantee score number 2, but who needs it when you have all the map control the way that you do? Purj takes the extremely long route around the backside, and now you're just hoping that your teammates can find the kills to stop the objective. They do not. Koi gets score number 2.
We're gonna have dirt control. Joe able to find more, and if you find this EMP in hand for Toronto, they may touch the 90% possession mark in this half. It has not been all that great for Boston, but they do clear out dirt cleanly, and that's an opportunity to move with some speed over towards A, putting some pressure on the Toronto's defense.
Yeah, but you know, Toronto already off the respawn, so we need to add a little bit of finesse into this objective push. Kips is only able to take down one. Afro there for the trade, but now you have all the presence you want at this A point. You just got to get past Insight, who's trying to single-handedly hold it down. Can only find one in Boston. Get there first on the board.
That's big, especially considering how quickly Toronto were able to start to take over in the 2-minute mark. 14 seconds on the clock. Boston with some good map control over the middle of the map, but Joe is on the pinch, and they're going to be aware of that. Afro clearing out space through Gens, able to find one, but now he's the last one standing, and Toronto's got a hellstorm to play with if they want to try to force this forward, and Kips has hit the pause button, so he's going to try to call that in. This could lead to a very quick score. Boston's going to try to push forward and take care of the EMP carrier, and in that moment they do. So a tough decision on both sides, but Boston make the right read. They deal with the carrier. Doesn't that final moment right there just kind of spell out what's been going wrong for Boston? They do everything they need to besides deal with the one player on the pitch. Kips finds 3, and now all of a sudden he's going to score.
And then off the respawn, gets 3 to stop that push. The rookie continues to shine. And now there's only 2 minutes left. Koi just got to hold.
Well, the play for Boston starting to develop over towards A. Afro in particular at mid-map wins a key gunfight. Joe also stopped from pushing forward. So again, you look to the rook. Kips for 1, not able to get more though, and that will be a very quick score for Boston. Tons of time on the clock here, plus with the next EMP location being at bottom, and this comes down to, does he decide to park the bus or not with the last 50 seconds?
It all depends where these kills are going down, and the team kill is definitely going to help this scenario. You were looking at the rookie to potentially find kill number 2, but you're more than happy to just control the EMP. allow Boston continuously to try to chase you down. There's only 40 seconds left.
Yeah, and this is really smart play from Insight. Just tracking behind his teammates, knowing Boston has to chase, and the game-winning score could potentially be here, and it will. Really heads-up play with the clock from Toronto with the advantage. Insight getting the final score. Boston will keep it relatively tight. I mean, considering at one point this was like an 80% possession arrow in favor of Toronto, but both Hellstorms come up empty. And even though there may be a chance to score here at A, there's just not enough time for any overtime to come through.
Yeah, they have no chance at the reset, so the tally is going to be 4-3, but Koi are going to walk away victorious. What it's like to be a professional has definitely prepared him for Toronto Koi's position. So into the map number 4 we go, with Koi looking to close this one out. Boston already late to the party here at P1.
All right, here we go. Toronto early time. The headies there are still just as nasty around this mid position, that one in particular. Well, Nasty has to kind of give up the angle and play off timing, and that will work out. The SMGs will connect. Boston find the break, 25 seconds, but again, heads on swivels here. You've got pressure from Insight trying to flip the spawns.
Yeah, it's a good route there from Insight to just get one and just draw the attention from Boston to put focus on him, because now it's going to open up so many other lanes around the map, and JoeDeceives win the biggest one off the rotation towards the 18. It's going to allow Koi to set up, and if you are Boston, Breach, I promise you, you don't win rotations on gridlock, you're most likely going to lose. So Nasty,
Play has to be through fire. Spart already getting back over towards the front side at 18. This position at pillar, tough to shrug players off of. This thanks to the fact that you can just shoulder it all day long. And as Toronto clean the field, now they're just going to try to deal with the last couple of members. Afro cannot get the regen. Purj will also drop, and that is a nasty staggered set of spawns where you can just wall bounce and keep the reinforcements at bay. Really solid hill here for Toronto.
yeah, you can't even touch this if you're Boston. Now you're banking on a 2-2 split spawn opportunity to get some kind of time this at this HP, and then Spart from the back line's able to at least get Koi off of it for now, but spawns flip. JoeDeceives with the repositioning, and the M15 holds down the street spot and gets a couple kills for his teammates to hold down the remaining 10, and they have the rotor to new, so Boston gotta play ahead.
Yeah, Owen Kips has seen Spart make his way into towels, so Joe will be alerted to that. Wise, this, but setup wise, they have absolutely dominated so far through 3 hills.
Spart is going to get taken down over towards Showers, and now you know all of Boston Breach are going to be attacking from the front side, and a team kill isn't going to help this scenario because now you are outnumbered. Koi hold on to the push, and Boston can't do anything right now.
Yeah, no, they cannot. Oh, mercy. 87-9. Yes, that number is real. And now Insight stunned up, but damage into Purj. Not going to win the battle, though. Leaving Joe by himself. Not quite able to collide and find the double. CleanX feeling like you could find the last couple of kills in the final 10 seconds. We'll try to commit, but not going to work out. He will spawn way out of the picture going to P4. So a moment here for Boston to come back into this. I think it was
4v2, make it a 4v1 scenario. You just got to trade the rookie, and you're able to do it very cleanly. So Boston secure the back spawns and now need this 50 seconds to make it a game.
Yeah, Purj just trying to get some space at the front side of the hill. That will not work out, leading to Toronto finding a 2-for-1 exchange. Force team kill from Afro. Nasty back in the picture, has the last 1v1 versus Kips in Boston. Okay, slow starters, but all it takes is one good hill, and we might be seeing it here on the 4th.
And it all starts with just winning a rotation. Boston secure the back spawns. Now know exactly where the pressure's going to come in for Koi, and have kept themselves in the game with the P4. Great read on the Joe, but he still makes his impact felt, because you might as well contest it if you got these close spawns if you're Koi.
Yeah, Afro able to get one. Nasty, another 1v1 situation for him, and the opening damage will lead to a very easy gunfight. There will be a little bit of difficulty reading where exactly Boston are with this current position, and that's going to lead to 3 straight dead. Good opening break for Breach.
Yeah, it's fantastic plays from your playmakers, setting up those calculated routes on the back lines. Allows you to get a clean 3 dead without anyone falling, and that's led to a good chunk of time here so far at the P1. 35 seconds remaining. It's going to fall onto Joe, trying to work around the backside of Mel. He does win a one-on-one gunfight. Now it's all on Nasty to try to hold this one down.
Yeah, but he will be pinched up again. The chaos spawns ensuing. Purj following, trying to hold out this position over towards Broken Stairs. And now the rewrap all the way back through the overpass. Nice shots from Spart, takes care of CleanX. So numbers advantage for Breach on the rotation, but Toronto are getting some good scrap time here and can actually push through the exit. Yeah, they're gonna block spawns with still a couple of seconds left on P1. So red and dealt with by Purj, but the trades are out and Toronto will have the numbers to at least try to hold the spawns.
You got to take a page out of Koi's book and try to hold this from the front side. You already have male control. You have 18 wheeler as well. You just need to win these opening fights, and it helps when a team kill goes down for the first engagement, but you lose every single fight after that. Now it's only on Afro to hold his positioning. He gets taken down, and Koi with a masterful break there.
That Purj needs to keep his life from the front at ATM. You have to wait for this pitch to develop from around the back, and he does perfectly. Nastie finds 2. Spart holding, waiting to see if Joe will try to chow this with 20 seconds remaining, and whoa, Joe still wins that gunfight. Trade is very easily found though by Nastie. So once more, Boston chipping back away at this lead. They're gonna be late on rotation though. Over to New.
They've made all the adjustments on the hard points that called second, and now it's a 2v2, making a 2v9. Koi hold.
Yeah, man, and Insight spawns in the worst possible position with that 2-2 split from Boston on the way. He spawns all the way down behind Grandma's house where Boston are currently spawning. But because that gunfight takes so long, he gets involved through small and turns the final gunfight in favor of Toronto. Boston, though, quick on the rebreak. 25 seconds, not insignificant time, and actually pretty critical time here for Boston in particular to chip back into the lead. And that will indeed be the case. Toronto are going to give this up and play for their new setup.
They have to forfeit this because if you contest on the backside of Dojo, you lose that gunfight, then you're spawning all the way at bridge side. And that's going to not put your teammates in a very good spot there off the roto. So you're going to cut your losses. Boston only going to be down by 30, but they're again looking for the opening engagement. Joe playing an off angle is going to be able to spot, and him and Kips combine for 2 to try to hold down the backside.
Yeah, just the shoulder to confirm that. The timing under the gunfight versus Afro. Plus movement to shut down Nastie. One more. No, not the case. Help is on the way, though. Nate over the top has Spart completely tagged up. And Kips is just right back up top once again, just dancing with this Boston break attempt from the front, and he is still shooting and shredding. Boston need to try to find the break with the last 20 remaining.
Oh yeah, final 20, and finally kills go your way. You need this time, or you cannot allow Koi to successfully get this time, so the pressure needs to be here. Spart and Nastie get 2. CleanX and Joe respond with 2 of their own. The stun is going to have a little bit of an impact there on that gunfight at Boston. For now, they're going to try to hold on to this final 5 with the roto to New.
Okay. Need to have a lockdown set up in the next 2 hills if you're Boston. Spart will drop on L-turn. Position, he knows he needs to help out, so now it's just down to Nastie trying to dance in and out of the hard point he's found. And Toronto will find an immediate counter break onto P1 to find more time.
Yeah, but Kips hops up there, so now you know if you're Boston, we still have the numbers. We just got to now trade 1 player, and that's going to be CleanX. So an immediate break there from Boston, keeping themselves into the mix, but we got to get our trophies down. There's no way frags over the top are going to have that much impact. They get 3, and that leads to the Koi break.
Not on the most defined hard point for Esports. Gotta have one. Purj able to bounce back with a nice double, but that was a lot of time that slipped through the fingers of Boston. And now you've got pressure on rotation starting to build. Insight does get stunned though, can't turn to find the gunfight onto Afro. CleanX following behind his long-standing duo, but not in a position to do too much. At least not initially towards P2. So Boston will open up the hard point in their name.
You got pressure through mail. Just got to trade out Nastie. You go 1 for 1 in that battle. But now the rest of Boston still here trying to hold it down. CleanX in a power position though towards mail side to secure the front spawns here for Koi. The same exact scenario that went around in the first set of HPs. Koi's looking to hold it down for the game.
Yeah, Boston just do not want to try to be breaking this through bus stop. But they will find a chance to contest. Just that's all they could do. A moment of contest at best. Toronto can still win in this hard point, so Boston have to play for every single second. Moment of confusion here though for Toronto, not 100% aware of where the spawns were for Boston, so a couple of freebies get tallied, make it all 4 now straight dead, and that will lead to a nice moment of rotation timing wise for Boston on top of that.
Yeah, but now this is what Boston need to do. Win the gunfights off the rotation, but Afro unfortunately gets caught. And now your teammates are going to be outnumbered over towards P3. So Purj, what do you got, my friend? You need to line up a couple 2 in Boston, win the rotation.
Okay. You cannot lose sight of how these spawns can move around though. And at the moment, Afro is the one kind of making sure that Toronto are going to be hitting through the small room side. Purj up close and personal, overwhelmed. Oh no. Another one of those moments, Jay. It's another one of those moments where Boston have the exact right setup. They should have no questions on the reads, and they don't win a single gunfight.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You just get overwhelmed on the backside of Dojo because you had Afro scouting for that pinch route, but no one from Koi hits it. They
to
know
see you
that
back, just finding the flow with the squad. Does it get boring watching Joe and Kips in the kill feed, though?
No, I quite enjoy it. It's fun just seeing them do their thing, and I'm just sometimes in the back line. Usually I'm first in, but I mean, the past 2 matches, they've just been flying, so.
Yeah, your damage is up there as well. You guys definitely contributing, but it's got to be fun. Toronto definitely finding their form right now.
Yeah, for sure.
CleanX, I want to ask you, in this new meta, we talked to Kips yesterday about it. He said he loves it and that you guys are kind of just working on your search and destroy and your overload. I noticed today in the search and destroy, Insight playing a little bit more aggressive with the sniper in hand on the offensive rounds. Like, is that something we can expect going forward? You guys pushing a little bit more pace offensively?
Yeah, I think that was something we talked about quite a lot after the major, that we just didn't really have like the sniper aggression, and I think we just let Jamie do whatever he wants with it. I think for us other 3, we definitely have to figure out a little bit more, but yeah, I feel like we threw the Fringe away. But
there were some good rounds in there.
Yeah.
I think you guys will continue to improve there.
I'm going to take away for sure.
Need something to get better at and improve on, right? CleanX, I want to ask you a little bit about Toronto Koi's identity right now. I feel like with the addition of the new meta and the maps, it feels like some teams are having a little bit more of an identity, and like they're really good in the rotations and the fundamentals. Like when watching that gridlock, you guys were head and shoulders above when it came to being on top of rotations and team working together. So what do you feel like your identity as Toronto Koi is right now?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the 2 new maps that just came in, Gridlock and Sake, just favors us in a way that doesn't really favor other teams. Like I'm happy Blackheart is out. I can't lie, but honestly, we just have pace, but we also got the rotation. I think overall, we just play way better and on bigger maps, and I mean, that's just how it is. Thank God.
It's a real Call of Duty player.
Exactly.
Do the top 4 teams pull away this stage from the rest of the pack?
I think so. I'll include us in there too. How about that?
I got you right there with Toronto Koi climbing up after top 3. It's hard to argue against it. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
That's Toby, our first winner of the day, but we got 2 more matches.